Hi, I'm Tom and welcome to another episode of Extreme Costumes. Today we're going to talk about the changes and improvements I've made to Bumblebee, plus the changes I still have to make. We're going to talk about the headlights I've installed, new shoulders, new door hinges, and the changes I've made to the PA system. But before we get into that, I know from the box office that a lot of you have already seen Transformers: Dark of the Moon. When I saw Transformers 1, it was a great story about a boy and his robot. When I saw Transformers 2, Bumblebee had equal screen time to Optimus Prime, and he was a major character. Now, Transformers 3, which is an amazing movie, I really don't know that I felt that Bumblebee was treated the same way. What did you think? Post a comment and tell me. Now, let's take a closer look at that headlights. As you see, these are miniature flashlights which I've installed in here, and just a simple click gets them on and off. 32 hours of shelf life. But what's more interesting is that if we remove these pieces right here, that I'm going to be actually able to hook them all into the same power supply that I run the PA system off of. The tail lights and the eye lights are all going to be on one single switch. One flick, all on or all off. Now, that's going to happen in the future, but for right now, I've got some headlights I can just push a button. If you take a little closer look, you can see I went a little heavy on the paint, so I'm going to be replacing those pieces. These aren't the only changes I've made. Courtesy of Greg and Spot On Electronics. The amount of effort you saw just there is exactly how much effort it takes to either plug in the arm or unplug it. That's something before would have been a giant nightmare, and now it only takes a matter of seconds. I'm pretty happy with that change. The other thing you can see, the fingers all now move nice and smoothly. The volume control, which you can see over here, is positioned just so I can touch it with my pinky. And off, up, down, up, and any volume that's appropriate for where we're at. These changes are going to make it a lot easier to use Bumblebee in a crowd, be able to hurt over thousands of people, or to not be able to crush somebody's eardrums when I'm 2 feet away. Well, that's the latest changes we made to the PA system, and I'm pretty happy about it. Now, let's show you what we've done to the shoulders. If you could see here, these are all brand new shoulder pieces. Every single screw is a double reinforced piece. There's a C-shaped 3/4 inch piece of aluminum backed by 1/2 inch pieces. Every single break in this is reinforced with an aluminum piece on the opposite side. Then I've got a piece going completely around, so I have full encasement. I've done that on both shoulders. Now, why did I replace everything from scratch? It's pretty simple. When you're in the field, you cannot afford to have this break. And this has happened twice so far. So I've gone to twice as heavy duty hinges, and I've gone to twice as heavy duty pieces of aluminum. That way, in the future, that won't happen. Now, if you could see from an earlier video, this space that isn't here is now twice as open up as it used to be. This does the same job it used to have, and yet there's twice as much room. That way, when the arm has to fit in there, there's a whole hell of a lot more room for that to happen. What was happening before was that I was gouging up this arm every time I pushed it in there. And I can't stand having to rebuild this stuff. So instead I said, let's fix it and make more room. In a little bit, I'm going to put padding over these little pieces here so they won't cut into this. And I'll replace that so it's all new. And that's just going to make it a lot smoother. Well, folks, those are the changes I made to Bumblebee this week. And I want to thank you for following along on Facebook and Twitter. And I want you to subscribe. Thanks again.